Very good morning, one and all. Now I'm going to give a brief idea of what you need to do for the upcoming 14 days for your D-Day of INICT. That is on November 20th. So first of all, taking the things or subjects you have done in Module 3 into consideration, okay, I'll be focusing on your splitting your days and using them in right way before you give the exam. And assuming these 14 days, you're working minimum 15 hours per day. And I hope coming to the modules and the special exams into consideration for the NEET. Okay, so I hope most of you are already done with 2 to 3 mock exams of INICET. So please do allocate the leftover time, like you're done with mock 1, mock 2. It's already said mock 3 is going to be the November AIIMS, and mock 4, which is going to be the June AIIMS, right? So you'll have one more mock exam, that is going to be the mock 5. So this is a rough idea of your mocks. So keep some time for mocks. Along with, once I'm done with the mock exams, I'll provide you the special exams. Okay, special exams are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 special exams. So please do keep some time for this to finish this exam, followed by to read the synopsis associated with this exam. So apart from that, I'll be uploading last minute revision part exclusively for AIIMS. Until now, whatever 25 the PDF files that you have on the smart notes on the website are common for both AIIMS as well as common for both INICET as well as for the NEET. But from today, I'm going to upload few more PDFs which are exclusively from AIIMS. Okay, I mean the topics that are frequently asked in the AIIMS or INICET, and the textbooks and the pages in which most of the questions of INICET and AIIMS are moving. So such things will be uploaded on the website, and the notification will be dropped on the group, and make sure you try to finish those pages. And apart from that, please try to attend the discussion. You will have some hardly 30 to 45 minutes of discussion, which is going to take 1 hour to read. So don't write the discussion part in this peak time. My suggestion is to read it on the group itself. Make sure you read it on the group itself, right? So you're dividing the day is more important. Make sure you split the day into multiple halves, a minimum 5 halves. So for example, 15 hours, you need to split into 3, 3, 3, 3, right? So in this 3 hours, I want you to spend 1.5 hours for power play books revision and 1.5 hours for your group stuff revision. That is maybe your rapid last minute revision PDFs or the group stuff. 1.5 hours is going to be sufficient every day. And similarly, 1.5 hours power play books revision. And I mean, like, every corner of PP book is very, very important, right? So that you need to do. Okay, so 1.5. So you're left over with 12 hours. So in this 12 hours, you divide your day accordingly, so that already I hope most of you are done with 1 to 3. So you're left over with 2 mock examinations and 5 special examinations. Special examinations, each of 100 marks, are not going to eat much of your time, whereas 200 marks examinations are going to take some time to finish them. So please do allocate these 5 plus 2, 7 examinations properly in these 14 days accordingly. If you're not done with the 1 to 3 mocks also, please do allocate the time for them in these 12 hours every day, right? So rest of the time should be allocated as per your request, like as per your consent. Which subject you are weak at, which subject you are good at, you need to check and you need to focus on. So like for example, if you ask me, I'm not asking to fade out or neglect any other subject, but I'm stressing there are few subjects which are very, very important, because of course like if it is INI-CET or if it's NEET, luckily we have blueprint for the NEET. Okay, we have a blueprint for the NEET, and in most of the scenarios, in 90% of the situations, by analyzing the question papers or by talking with the students, we came to a conclusion that they are following it. But there is no blueprint for AIIMS. Okay, there is no blueprint for AIIMS. All the analysis we regularly give, but there is no blueprint for AIIMS. But I'm going to stress out few important subjects or corners where the questions are moving a bit. Such thing is, one is anatomy. So anatomy cannot be neglected. Okay, so good thing is anatomy is done for you in the recent module, so I hope most of you are good at. So what you have to focus in anatomy is mostly embryology. You have many questions given in the examinations on embryology. Okay, that moves around your head and neck, that moves around the development of temporomandibular joint, cleft lip, cleft palate, maxillary process, all these, how these occurs, very simple questions. And the second one is exceptions. Most of your questions will be tagged in the anatomy or in the INI-CET, like probably you'll get to know on the 20th. You have to know everything about every statement. Okay, because the questions are all of the following are true except which of the following is a false statement. So exceptions are very, very important in anatomy. All the muscles of this are supplied by one nerve except. So in anatomy you have exceptions, nerve supply or any other supply, you have exceptions. So questions are moving around those exceptions, and anatomy questions are regularly most commonly asked questions, and it is very easy to handle, and it's a scoring area. The next, jumping to the next important subject in your first year is biochemistry. Even biochemistry questions are direct questions, because they cannot ask an application based question or a new question in anatomy or a biochemistry, in which the modifications or advancements are very little to our consent. Okay, so please do make a note, your biochemistry where the questions are being asked. Make a note, these suggestions or this schedule is exclusively for the people who are aiming for INI-CET, who are seriously preparing for INI-CET. And make sure don't revise the content which everyone revises. Okay, so biochemistry, I hope most of you in the first round, when you're doing biochemistry, you have done Fibian, right? You have done Fibian, and I hope you have done the same in the second round, and I want you to revise the same in this limited time. I'm not asking you to do entire Fibian part, but I hope you have marked few areas, few tables. Okay, of course most of the content related to biochemistry is properly covered in your PP books also in the form of tables, all the memory based stuff. So make sure you do whatever the content which you have done in the first round. Very specific, I'm very specific. Even if it is anatomy, I want you to do the content, the PDFs what are being shared on the group, like the shared on the group or what are being present in the website in the smart video session. So please do the content. Okay, so anatomy. And coming to the next important subject, okay, you can fade physiology a bit. Questions are being asked in physiology, but they're a bit tricky, so they may not hurt your competition zone. So you can fade physiology, but I'm asking not to remove your physiology entirely, but do normal revision of physiology within your limitations, whatever the group stuff has done, whatever the videos that you are accessible to, or you do that, but don't do exclusively hardcore preparation on the physio. Okay, so the next one is the dental materials. So dental materials is also direct. Okay, questions are being directly taken from Phillips. Okay, so it's very difficult to read Phillips, but it's easy to read your PP books and the content which is accessible to you. So once just have a random look over the numericals and everything, okay, because one or two numericals are going to change your game plan completely. Okay, so this is the main concern about your first year subjects, and the next moves to the dental anatomy and dental histology. Okay, so dental anatomy, dental histology, yeah, luckily God's grace, this is also done in the recent module for you, and make sure you give some limited time, but make sure you revise more DA when compared to DH, because DA is more of memory based, and of course they ask all the numbers and anything they can ask, which can be application based question also. So this is a recently done topic, so give some limited or proper time for revision of DA. And next, jumping to the next subject, that is pharmacology. Pharmacology is one subject which is very, very, very important in AIIMS, either in the scoring wise as well as in making your rank better. Okay, so whatever things we have done related to pharmacology, whether it is Sparsh or whether it is the group stuff or whether it's a power playbook content, okay, so make sure you give utmost importance and try to cover it. If you feel if it is tricky, keep every day half an hour pharmacology or half an hour to 45 minutes pharmacology from today, because this is a subject which has a decent weightage. The paper setters are really giving questions on this, and it has to be done at your best. So coming next to the pharmacology, the next thing you have to take into consideration, the microbiology. Microbiology has a decent weightage. Questions are moving around microbiology. So please allocate some time and make sure you try your best to cover this microbiology. There is no specifications, like you need to be very focused on this. The questions are generalized. Of course, the questions are on the most common things which we have discussed. So you just please do the proper revision. The next comes is general path. Make sure apart from, general path is a very, very limited subject in a dental student point of view. Okay, most of you are well familiar with the necrosis, inflammations, calcifications, apoptosis. Oh, most of you are familiar, but the main concern of you should be, when you're talking about these both like micro and pathology, is immunology. Okay, immunology, cells, the markers. Okay, when you're talking about the malignancies, tumor markers, everything, these are all completely solidly memory based, which has to be revised n times. Okay, what are the different markers? And again, coming to the next chapter in general path, that is genetics. Genetics also, you have lots of numbers that you have to make around. So it's completely memory based. I hope most of you can handle this part, that is the necrosis and inflammation, immunology, hemodynamics and everything can be handled at your best. But I feel the trickiest aspect is going to be the immunology and the numbers which move, the memory based stuff which move around immunology and genetics. So go back, do the consent stuff. Okay, make sure you're good with the subject. Okay, so this is how you need to cover micro, GP and the pharmacology. So next, jumping to the next part, that is your oral path, oral medicine and radiology. So these three subjects combined with the general medicine is the most important combination for AIIMS. Most of your questions in the examination hall directly, indirectly moves around this combination. Of course, if you observe the last 3 sessions or rounds of INA-CET, medicine is a bit neglected. Neglected means it's being combined in oral medicine, or it's being combined in general path, or it's being combined in physiology. But I want you to give utmost important, covering each and every corner, what has been discussed, what is going in your preparation phase on the group. Okay, make sure you try to give your best, because this combination is important, and this combination is very easy to score, because the depth of the subject is known by the dentist. So it's very easy to score this combination. If you maintain high accuracy in this combination, it's going to be very, very useful for you to crack the examination. The next comes is general surgery. So keep your limitations in the preparation. Don't give much of your time for general surgery for now. It's important, very important for NEET, but the questions were a bit less from general surgery in consent with your INI-CET. Okay, make sure you give a limited time. Okay, I don't want you to quit general surgery, but keep a limited time for general surgery. So that's about the subjects up to the third year. So coming to the final year subjects, of course I'm covered with oral medicine and radiology. So the final year subjects, the first one I want to talk about is perio. Perio is a very, very important subject. It's a 5-star subject among the clinical subjects, where the questions are being picked directly from Karanza. It's difficult to do Karanza at this peak time, but it's easy to do PP books, which was prepared from Karanza as a reference. So I want you guys to go back, finish the PP books part and finish the discussion part, because most of the discussion content in the first round and the second round were taken directly from Karanza. So do some work, like whatever the subject you have, please do give an utmost importance to this subject. Of course, luckily this subject was covered in the group in the recent 15 days back. So I hope you're good at this. The next comes is ortho in combination with pedo. Most of your diagram based questions are being picked from this particular area. Even questions on dental materials related to orthodontics are being asked. Okay, and I want you to work on that particular area also, which is most often neglected by most of the students. Dental materials of ortho. Okay, I hope you have done this in round 1. When we are dealing with the dental materials, make sure you try to finish this. Don't miss that, because questions are being pulled from dental material related stuff of orthodontics. And pedo and everything, you can just go back and have a decent revision of your like pedo. Most of you have done Muthu, and for ortho you have done Sharan. Okay, so most of you have done these books, so please go back. Okay, and I mean, like, if you have done, go back and just have a glance. That's going to help you a lot. Okay, when it's a competition, when it's a tough question coming, it's going to help you a lot. So give good importance to these orthopedo. So once we are done with this, we'll jumping to the next part. So endo is more important when compared with the cons. If it is a comparison, endo is more important. Most of the questions are being picked from endo. Endo is one of the important subject for INI-CET. So please do finish the stuff in PP books and everywhere. Like whatever you have done related to endo, so please do have a proper glance, because endo was done in module 1, cons was done in module 1, orthopedo is done in module 1. So there is a little lap of 2 months, whereas your perio is being done in module 3, so there is no lap. So give more importance to these subjects. So once I'm done, I'm just jumping to the prosthetics. So prosthetics plus implants. Implants is a very, very important content. So I want everyone to do implants from PP books, everyone to do the video content that is present on the website related to the implants. Okay, so please do some good work on implants, the dental materials of the implants, perio part of implants, surgical part of implants, prosthetic part of implants, all the different bone densities, their values, their textures, their examples, the classifications, anatomical landmarks and their considerations, distance, indications, contraindications, infections, everything, complications, everything related to the implants. Implants is an utmost important thing. And coming to the prosthetic part, I want you to go, because this is done in module 1 2 months back. So I want you to give a more time for prosthetics, either to recap your FPD, RPD or CD. Make sure you give utmost importance to the diagram based stuff also. Your landmarks, anatomical landmarks in the case of complete denture, and coming to the maxillary and mandibular major connectors, diagrams, the clasps and their diagrams and the content, indications, contraindications, advantages, disadvantages, your finish lines, where they are given, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, all sort of things. Like everything has to be done from prosthetics and implants part, because you have done this subject 2 months back. That's the reason why I'm stressing it long. So see, keep some good time, allocate some good time for this. Okay, so we are done with that and we are jumping to oral surgery. Of course, oral surgery is recently done, but it's one of the most important subject. And of course, in oral surgery, the most sub-important topics are your LA and GA. GA is very, very important when compared to LA. Hopefully, I hope most of you can handle LA based questions, but I want you to have a depth oriented stuff related to general anesthesia. Okay, the next is the medical emergencies. Medical emergencies, of course, I'll be taking few more discussions related to the medical emergencies. From medical emergencies malmed, the questions are being picked from these areas. Okay, so we'll have some discussions, and of course you have major video content which is prepared from medical emergencies of malmed. Individual medical emergencies videos are available in your smart videos part. I think these videos are present in your general medicine, so please do go back and check. They are going to help you. For sure they're going to help you a lot. The next important subtopic that most of the people neglect is fractures and the treatment plan. And of course your orthognathic surgeries, all the recent advances in oral surgery are very, very important. Okay, your scopes, your incubations, very important is incubations. Different types of incubations, when they're given, what are the advantages, what are the complications and everything. So oral surgery is an important area. The next coming to is the community medicine plus community dentistry. Not a heavy subject, but of course luckily it was done recently for you in the module 3 and module 2. So what you need to focus on, concept based things, I hope like most of you can handle the biostatistics part, some basic numericals, not a depth oriented biostatistics. Even aims are picking one odd number, odd question from biostatistics which no one can answer. So I don't want you to go to depth into biostatistics part, but whatever epidemiology and biostatistics, you can do some concepts related to the tests of chi-square or t-tests, paid, unpaid, different types of studies. I hope you can handle them. If you want, you can just go back, just have a glance like which type of test is used, which type of study is used. Just have a glance. I hope most of you can handle that. The few memory based content in the biochemistry, give half an hour or 45 minutes to finish that. Make sure you are strong in handling that basics questions on your normal curves, your sensitivities, your specificities formula, positive prediction, negative prediction values. So all these values, your alpha errors, beta errors, all this, just have a glance. Your PP books are more than sufficient because they were properly prepared, giving some examples. That's more than sufficient, and rest of you can sort out in the mock examinations during the practice or in the special examinations. So that's about the community dentistry. Please do go through the indices, okay, which were discussed on the group, or please open your Shoban Peter and just have a glance over the indices. Your biostatistics part is a very important. Your epidemiology is very important. Your WHO themes, your school health programs, and few more things will be shared on the group, and all these are very, very important contents which you should not neglect. Last but not the least is just have a glance of forensic odontology. I don't want you to go very deep into forensic medicine. There is no need of going very deep into medicine part, but forensic odontology is important. They're picking 1 or 2 questions from this particular area, and your power play books and the videos that are available on the website are more than sufficient. Whatever content we have discussed is more than sufficient to crack these 1 or 2 basic questions which are going to prepare the competition. Like the conclusion of this is very simple. So always make a note, like of course when you saw the recent question paper, you feel like, oh, I don't know, 30 or 40 questions in this, very new to me, very new or extraordinary. No, the competition will always be in the known questions. So there are two parts of questions, known and unknown. Okay, so known and unknown, and most of the exams, 80 to 85% of questions are known, 20 to 25% of questions are unknown. Unknown questions means tough questions. Known questions means can be tough or easy, but in a known topic. For example, if a question being asked on a dry socket, that's a known question. The dry socket question can be easy or tough, basing upon the options or the difficulty index of the question. So it can be easy or hard. Okay, whereas the unknown question is going to be hard for sure. So if you have a good preparation in the last few months or anything, the number of unknown questions will decrease. But as of now, in the last 14 days, you cannot do anything for these unknown questions. Luckily, if you are being exposed to the concept in a mock exam or in a special exam, okay, that's very luck, and that's a God's grace. Okay, that's a God grace and a luck factor. But you cannot do anything very specific to drop the number of unknown questions. But what you can do in this 14 days for your aims or your 40 days for your NEET, what better you can do is you can increase the accuracy in known questions. So after talking with most of the people who topped the country or who topped the state, okay, from the MDS CONQUER family, so this is a conclusion that increasing in accuracy of known questions is very, very important rather than cracking an unknown question. Okay, so the conclusion of this story is very simple, that revision is more important than learning new things in this last 1 month. So you hardly have 1 month, 30 to 40 days for your NEET, and hardly 10 to 14 days for your aims. So revision is more important. So similarly, in this way, allocate your 80% of time to revision and 20% of your time to learn new things. I don't want you to miss the new things also, because if it is a medical student based NEET or aims preparation, that's a different story, because they prepare for a long time. They start their preparation in MBBS 3rd year, 4th year, internship, post-intern, post-intern. So they have a lengthy preparation. So most of the mentors of medical students, they just conclude that don't do anything very new, focus on revision entirely. But I feel like most of us, we start preparation in internship. Okay, I have seen very rarely student doing or starting their preparation in a final year. Very rare, less than 0.5% of cases. So I don't want you to follow the game plan of a medical back with a medical background, or of course few mentors, they say, even I have seen few mentors, they don't suggest to read anything new, but I don't want. Okay, you read new things, but make sure it should be around like 20-25%. Means 1/4 of the time should be given to the new things, and 3/4 of the time, more than 3/4 of the time, should be given to the revision of known things. Okay, done for now. Signing off, Dr. Srikanth from Team MDS CONQUER. Yeah, the only suggestion I always say is let's work hard. Need to make some betterment in the life. So this is what we are working for. We are working so long, keeping this COVID-19 into consideration. So lots of things are going around the minds, lots of calls, lots of issues, personal issues, professional issues, medical illness, mental illness. So COVID-19 in this preparation phase has not given 4 or 5 options. It has given n number of options, but we are still positive. I know most of you are very positive. It's very good to see a student calling, talking, sharing their personal issues, health issues. But at the last, they're very positive that we have to work hard, right? So COVID has given so many bad experiences for us, but still we are doing our best, right? So COVID has many options, but the exam has only 4 options. And I hope 4 options can be easy when compared with the options that are given by the COVID. So the revenge should be planned for this 19, not 2019. The revenge should be planned for COVID-19, and the year 2020 should end up with something good in the last phase. That is on November 20, that is on December 16, and that is on December 31st. And I hope you have already marked these dates, right? So these dates are going to change your life, change the fate of 2020. Hopefully we'll have best 2021. Love you all. Signing off, Dr. Srikanth from team MDS CONQUER.